I'm Sam Nudelman. I work here at Firefly, helping our agents with their sales and marketing. Adam here is obviously with Glovebox, one of the co-founders and sales directors over at Glovebox.
Hey everybody, I'm doing my real estate pose in my picture there. And I took the glasses off because it was real serious. But
I'm going to start by going over what we're going to cover today. And what we're covering is, what is Glovebox? How can Glovebox help my P&C insurance agency? We're going to do a demo of the Glovebox app and its processes, and we're going to go over a Glovebox discount for everyone who's here today, and anyone who's watching on replay as well. And then, of course, we're going to make sure that we answer any questions you might have.
I'm going to kind of show you, this is anywhere you see Primal. Imagine Primal is your agency today. Okay. So we had, I don't know, I'll do a shout out to Chris at Advisor Evolved. He does great websites. He built us this demo website. A lot of the things that we're seeing in here are the old ways of service. So I'm sure everybody's website has some kind of form. Oh, I need to get an auto policy change, fill out the form. This is probably my favorite page. I call it the dreaded carrier page, where it just lists endless amounts of carriers, and they're going to call you anyway because they don't know which carrier they have. Or some kind of AMS portal where they have to have a username, password set up. And then when they get in there, you don't really know if they're seeing up-to-date stuff or if they're seeing downloaded data or cord forms. So that is really where we came into play with Glovebox. So our background in insurance is, we are not a bunch of tech guys. We have a tech team that we've hired, but we ran an agency from 2011 to 2019. It was personal lines heavy, had a couple commercial agents. We took it from 5 million to 100 million in premium in 8 years. And that was with 100 1099 brokers at one point. That we had a devoted service team of 35 plus CSRs. We tracked everything. We were using AMS 360 as our AMS system. We were getting 500 to 600 inbound calls and emails every single business day. Monday, people would dread coming in Monday and looking at voicemail. Hey, you have 200 new messages. You have 500 new messages. So when we sold the agency in 2019, we knew that tech was needed. We had this idea of Glovebox, and we went and self-funded ourselves to build Glovebox. So it is that solution. Think of it as a virtual CSR for your agency that can help make your current CSRs happier. But also, if you're writing and you're servicing your own book, this could be your first new hire, is what we'll kind of call it. All right. So on here, we went through and we scoured talking to people that are with us, not with us, everywhere from a single solo agent to a 40 employee shop, somewhere from a scratch agency all the way to 40 million in rev, people that sell both personal and commercial. And here's what we found. 60% of agencies are exhausted with their agency staff on repetitive service tasks, and it just eats up time, money, resources. 71% of agencies say that these menial service tasks are killing revenue growth because they're having to spend all their time dealing with these low ticket items. And 64% of the agencies we talked to that had a book of, say, 2.5 million rev, they require their agents to both sell and service, which means if you have a bunch of service coming in, that means you have way less time for selling. So when we were going through all of these, we're like, all right, well, would you rather be doing? Well, shocker, 87% of people would rather be hunting for new sales and developing better relationships with their current clients. Pretty much a no-brainer there. So how do we do that? Well, how do we prepare for the next generation of exactly who's going to be buying insurance? Millennials, these stats come from, it's actually kind of a similar name. Agent of the Future is a study put out by Safeco. 68% of millennials downloaded an insurance app last year. 90% logged into either the app or the portal. So this just shows you, when given the opportunity to self-service, people will take it. The problem is, we don't want to send them to the carrier apps. The carriers are just the product you sold. Your agency is the brand. You need to control this experience, and that's what we do with Glovebox. So here's what we know. You want to stop wasting time, money, and resources on service. Your teams want to hunt for new clients and build better relationships with the current ones. Your customers want to service their policies digitally. Now, again, it's not everybody. It's not going to be Bill who drops off a stack of cash for his payment. Hopefully, Bill's not coming into your agency too much. But this is going to get you enough adoption on how you promote it to where it's going to save you a bunch of time, money, and resources. So our team gets you set up. We automate the rollout. I'm going to show you a quick demo of how it all works. We even invite you to our Glovebox Powered By page when you're a customer and show best practices of what agencies are doing, offer study halls. This is probably my favorite post I've seen in 6 months. These guys are down in Florida. They added their hold music and their voicemails to just say, go to our website, log into your account, and they bumped up 180 users in 8 days just by saying this exists, putting it on your website to let people know, log into your account. We give you email signature buttons, download our app. All of these things are readily available, and we even give you access to see what's going on in your own agency dashboard that we call HQ. All right?
That
So
post
how
from
does
Brett
this
was
all—
gold, by the way. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just, telling people you've got a 10-minute hold time to help direct them to be able to service themselves for something that's relatively easy anyway. I think that was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was when we hear what best practices are going on, we want everyone else in the group to know about it too. So, I mean, I can tell people as much as I want on a demo, hey, make your voicemail, say, hey, sorry we missed you today. Nothing you leave via voicemail can be bound until we talk to you or written notice. But in the meantime, head over to our website and log into your account. So what we do is we work with 18 AMS systems. All right. So chances are, if you're on this call, we work with your AMS system. You'd have to be using something really weird that I've never heard of to not be already able to use Glovebox. So we are using the AMS to get the data out so we can actually clean it, aggregate it, make sure we're not sending a welcome email to someone who's a prospect or send a welcome email to somebody who has inactive policies. So we trigger a campaign of 3 emails over 3 weeks, welcoming your customers to your platform. They don't know who Glovebox is. They know who you are. So again, this will break it down, tell them, hey, you can access ID cards, policy docs, self-service. You can get quick access to your agency from your iPhone, Android, or web app agency site. When they click claim their account, it's going to take them to the same place as if they clicked in, log into your account right here on your website. So what that's going to do is bring them either on their phone or on their computer to this nice landing page. It's any browser friendly. Up top, if they're on their phone, it's going to go, hey, there's an app for this. Do you want to download it? If you do, you just click the button and it's starting downloading right on your phone. It tells them, hey, in here, you can access docs, ID cards, pay a bill, start a claim, request changes, get new quotes, even refer your agent, you, out to friends and family. Okay? So right here, they can click launch. There is no username and password. No one is going to remember their username and password for your insurance app 6 months from now when they need to do something. So all they need to know is their email address that just got the welcome email or their phone number, and we are going to send them a PIN, and they're in. So adoption, 5 times that of AMS portals, 10 times that of carrier sites. Get the PIN, I'm in. It's going to give me a quick tutorial that walks me through, hey, here's your agent. If you need anything, don't go dig up that email from 9 months ago. Just come right here and call your agent. So it's faster, easier access to you. You can refer us out. You can request service, request quotes. And then it's going to walk them through the active policies they have. Some people might have 1 carrier, couple policies. Some people might have 3 carriers, 5 carriers. Who knows? Me personally, mine's a dev account, but I actually have in here ASI Progressive, I have auto owners, and I have Safeco. So without Glovebox, not only would I have to go download 3 carrier apps, which I don't want to do, none of them would mention my agent anywhere except in fine print on the deck page. So you can see up top here, it goes, you've downloaded the app. Do you want to go to the native app? Sure. It looks the exact same as the web browser version. So again, anywhere, anytime, any device, all of these buttons are very plug and play. If one of your clients or you wanted to refer yourself out, you can send a text message or an email to your friend and go, hey, here's my agent's app I was telling you about. You're going to love them. All you got to do is click the link and hit get a quote. So not only can current customers be in here, but you can get notified when a new prospect comes in. And if they don't connect their policies, which I'll show you next, you can at least call them or email them and be like, hey, I saw you took the time to log into our platform. How can I help you today? With Get a Quote, If you use anything for front end quote capture, or maybe you have a page on your website for it, we built a type form here, but you can plug in any URL you want for get a quote. We just built something in the event that you don't have anything. They can go right through the entire process here, fill out all the information you want. They can even upload documents to you, and then this comes to you via email. So some people have plugged in Salt. Some people have plugged in Xylo. Some people have plugged in their Rater if they have something front end facing. Whatever you want can be plugged in to get a quote. Otherwise, we supply you with a type form. Request service. Being guys that had a ton of CSRs, we built 250 built-in personalized question and answer flows into this service request. There's not really a question and answer you can throw in there that it's not going to be able to tackle. And again, this is going to say at the end of it, this does not bind coverage with that disclaimer, but it at least sends you a copy that's much more descriptive of, hey, we're looking for this. We want to add a driver. Here's the driver's name. Here's the vehicle. So it walks them right through what they need. When it comes to carriers and documents, we call this our good list. This is the carrier integrations page. All right. So all carriers, personal lines wise, are built into Glovebox already. The difference is it embedded or is it integrated? So if it's integrated, it means that we actually can provide a one-time login from the carrier in Glovebox right here, and they can connect their account for the life of them having that carrier with you. So if they just need to make a claim or pay a bill or see their expiration dates or policy number, that's all here. So all this data comes in from us scrubbing your AMS client list and only displaying active policies. If I click make a claim, it's going to take them to the make a claim page for that specific carrier. If I click pay a bill, it's going to take them to the pay a bill page for that specific carrier, much like your website might do now, but they don't know which carrier they have. The one thing they need, though, is their policy number, which is right here for them to copy. If I want access to these documents, if it's on this integrated list, I can do a one-time login, or you, my agent, could build my creds for me and log me in, and it's going to connect 24/7, 365. So I hear someone wrote, does this integrate with Canopy Connect? Canopy Connect is great. They have 180 carrier connections. Their connections are one-time document polls. We have people that have put their Canopy Connect link as their get a quote URL. Absolutely can do that. So what we're using Glovebox for is we're building a 24/7 connection. So if someone connects their travelers here and you go through it and update their driver, their vehicle, because it's carrier connected, every night it's going to resync those policies, pull in anything new, and update anything you might have changed, which is awesome. So my direct policies are with auto owners. So I connected my auto owners. I can make a claim, pay a bill, contact my agent. But since these are now connected, I can actually go get my real-time ID card, my real-time endorsements, all the stuff that lives inside auto owners now lives inside my agent's app. If I have a question that I can't answer here throughout Glovebox, I'll contact my agent. You can separate sales, service, put text message capable numbers in here. You can link up your social media. You can even put your Google page for people to leave reviews linked up in here. So one of my favorite things, though, is why is Geico on here? Why is Esurance on here? Why is American Family on here? Those are directs and captives. Going back to the Canopy Connect kind of idea, anything you can do with Canopy Connect in terms of deck page polls, you can do with Glovebox with any of these carriers. They obviously have more carriers like USAA, State Farm, where they can do a one-time poll on the front end for quoting, which is cool too. But for ours, yeah, technically someone, if you had their home, but their auto is with Geico, they can come right to the carriers tab and add Geico or any other outside carriers that you haven't written them with. If they're to connect it one time, you can see their stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Someone wrote here, clients will need to remember their individual login, but then Glovebox will securely save it for future use. You got it. A one-time connection to the carrier, if it's available, is all they need to do. Now let's go to a carrier, let's say, that does not have a integration. We will still display all carriers. So if anyone's out in the Northeast, let's pull up Safety Insurance. They're about to join this integrated carriers list, but we will show them their policy number, their expiration dates, their policy types. I just don't personally have this right here with me. So I just went to the carrier page. They can still make a claim, they can still pay a bill, they can still contact you. But to get access to the docs, we can bridge them to where they need to go. So now it's like this carrier's app is working inside your app. So we have all of the carriers in here to keep people organized. So they'll be able to see who they have, what they have, when things expire, all inside your Glovebox app. So yes.
So to kind of explain that, it sounds like there's either they have the direct integration where you work directly with them and everything's just built into the one platform, or you're just going to launch them from Glovebox app right into their own platform, but it's still within that same environment. They're not going to leave that environment for the client. Someone asked, so there would be an app for your agency, and the answer is yes. So this would be an app that's available for your agency. You'd also get access, like you said, to the Facebook group in the community where they help, where you guys help agents and other agents help agents, right? To get more of their clients using the Glovebox app, give hints, tips, tricks on that kind of stuff. Hopefully that answers those questions there.
And it's a portal too. So if someone doesn't want to be if they're not an app person, they can access it from the web. They don't have to download the app. So this is HQ. This is what you and your team will have to know what's going on with your account. You can set your entire team up in here of agents, of CSRs, whatever you'd like. Really, the main thing is self-promoting this thing. Let's say Chris called into our agency today. You can pop in Chris's name, email, phone number, and right out the gates know if Chris is using Glovebox with a green check mark or not using Glovebox with a red X. So what's awesome about this is a lot of times this is faster information. Oh, hey, Chris, I know you got a Chubb auto account with us. Here's the policy number. But what about the Chris that's not logged into Glovebox? Well, what's great about this is you can help that client as you would on the phone right now, but then you can actually re-invite them while on the phone with you to Glovebox. Not only can you re-invite them with the click of a button where their email pings and you can get them to log in with their phone number or email, but if you have any text out capabilities at your agency too, we give you a connect link where you can go, hey, I'm going to text you the link to our portal, to our app. So adoption is a lot on our client rollout, but also it's more so about you guys promoting online and on the phone and on your voicemails the fact that this exists. So but yes, everything I'm saying is more related to personal lines than commercial. So commercial is set to launch in the next few months, which is going to be huge. So imagine it's the same interface. People will be able to toggle up and up top between their personal lines and their commercial. Along with commercial is going to be a big lift called doc upload. So where people can request certs, you can upload the certs right to that policy, but along with doc upload, you can actually set there and like maybe you want to upload an ID card to somebody. Maybe they have a non-integrated carrier, and instead of them bridging to that carrier login, they can actually just go, hey, I uploaded your document right to you. So someone's not betting on that.
There's a few questions I was going to say. So real quick. So one person asked, and I think we're pretty much at that section where we'll start answering questions. So start dropping those questions into there. Mike Harvey asked, so if we do not have a rater on our website, does Glovebox include that? I would just say, Mike, so Glovebox will actually allow you to include they have their own questions for those who are looking for like a quote and go to your platform looking for a quote. They have their own, or you can use your own link. So for example, some agents are using Agency Elephant, right? Some you're using Salt. Some agents are using Canopy Connect. Some agents are using Easy Links, for example, their consumer quoting portal. So whatever it is that you're using to get those clients to get a quote, you can integrate that directly into Glovebox. And so people who want to click that button to get a quote, they can do so, and they can land either use Glovebox as just a couple quick questions where it sends you an email with those answers. It's available in the Glovebox app and the Glovebox portal HQ for you, or you can set up your own lead form that you already have through your agency. Now, it looks like we had another one. So it sounds like everything they're saying is related to more personal lines than commercial lines. So this is from Tom. Other than civil bops or maybe a nail salon, don't know of any commercial quotes. So I think maybe there's some confusion there because they are not offering, Glovebox isn't offering quotes. This isn't about quoting. This is for existing clients. So this has nothing to do with a quoting platform or getting back quotes. They do offer the ability for within the system for people to get a quote from what you already have built, right? or to enter a few information in a lead form, but this is not a quoting platform. So I think there may have been some confusion, Tom, on that part regarding Glovebox and what we're going over. So this is not a quoting platform, to be clear.
Yeah, the get a quote button is essentially a more interactive form that's gathering you the information, and then you're going to reach out to them. We are, I mean, yes, in the future, the very far future, the goal would be to have quotes available in here where people can actually buy more insurance through you digitally. But anything that requires action or sales, we want going to you and your staff. All of these workflows right here, direct bill pay, claims reporting, live data, live docs, your quote capture, your service, click to call, text, or email, or referral button. These are the workflows. And then the other part we didn't really tackle yet, but depending on your agency, we can actually build this with a hierarchy of platforms. So you have your master agency platform, but what if you have a separate location? What if you have an agent that's 1099 that you'd like them to have their clients seeing them? You can actually customize this in this way. So, outside of that, someone wrote, is this redundant to use Canopy Connect then? It depends on what you use Canopy Connect for. So Canopy Connect is just a one-time pull of those deck pages. I love Canopy Connect because they have 180, I believe, carrier one-time pulls to help you with quoting. So if all of the carriers that you typically steal from are on this page, let's say, or you quote against, then absolutely you could use this. But a lot of times there's the State Farms, the USAAs, the Farmers. We don't have integrations into those captives yet, like we do Geico, Esurance, American Family. So no, I usually say they complement each other pretty nice. They're using Canopy Connect on the front end to get deck pages, but yes, you technically could get it. Ours is much more for service, but you could use it for prospecting.
I agree with you. I think both of them can be great complementary tools. I think the Canopy is awesome because it is a lot more for that front end, that reaching out to a client who doesn't even work with you yet, and you're getting their deck pages. Whereas a lot more with Glovebox is, hey, I already have you for my homeowner's insurance, right? And you're my, let me go ahead and send you this link, and I can get your deck pages for your auto too, right? So I do see both of them being complementary, but I agree. I think Canopy Connect is a great tool for agents. And so if anyone is not familiar with Canopy Connect or wants to explore it, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to connect you with the team over there. But I definitely recommend anyone to look into that tool as well. Looks like we have another question.
So if you have the auto, but you don't have the home, or you have the home and don't have the auto, we are only going to display what they have with you, welcoming them to your Glovebox. They would have to manually go and enter that carrier that they might have elsewhere to bring it into your platform. So if they want to bring in a policy that they have elsewhere and it happens to be one of these integrated carriers, they could obviously bring in that carrier, do that one-time connection, and then you would have access to see the documents via HQ by pulling them up inside here. But
exactly.
if they have a carrier, if they have a policy, like personally, I have a life insurance policy with Farmers, I could go into here and add Farmers, but because there's no actual integration, it's just a bridge to the carrier. There's no way for me to connect that and have you see what I have. So the answer is they can bring in outside policies. They can only connect those policies if it's one of these integrated carriers for you to see it. When somebody's logging in, essentially they're logging in with their credentials to that carrier, granting you access. When they've accessed Glovebox, any policies that they want to bring in and they have the ability to connect, yes, they have the ability to then have you see it because they've already on their way in checked off the T's and C's, which is just like, again, Canopy Connect. They're logging in with their credentials, granting you access to see documents. And again, on ours, it's just the personal line side right now with commercial coming. The client, if we're talking again about T's and C's, like I'll just show you kind of, again, the login that people can go to. Let me just clear my cache. I mean, again, it's Canopy Connect. Anywhere that's doing a deck page pull, the people are agreeing to use your platform. So from a security perspective, they are deciding to log in to their carrier in your platform, granting you access to those deck pages. So yes, if I come back to the original login, I'll clear my history on here. When they come into Glovebox and they're with your app and they click launch right here, they're entering their phone number or their email. Most people do their phone number, and they click I agree right here. So when they are actually, if they want to go to the T's and C's, they're all right here. But when they launch this account, again, they would have to manually then go bring in any outside policy themselves. They're choosing to grant you access to it by popping those in. So hopefully that clarifies how deck pages work. There's another company called InsureGrid that does that with the Canopy Connect. There's a couple of those deck page pull companies that all do similar things. Ours is establishing a 24/7 connection because we are much more focused on service than we are sales, but you can also use it as a prospecting arm.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a ton of companies out there doing it. So for anyone who might be worried about compliance or worried about like privacy and stuff, you know, we also have to remember from my perspective too, looking at knowing that you guys have millions of dollars in funding, right? And VC companies wouldn't necessarily fund all of these companies that are doing this kind of stuff without, you know, having their T's dotted and their I's crossed, right? So for anyone who's worried about that aspect, that wouldn't be something I'm concerned about.
I'll kind of show you also pricing on this. So pricing is based on personal lines unique customer count. So wherever you land, if someone has 5 policies with you, if they have multiple lines with you, they only count as one customer. And again, commercial's not live yet. So let's just think of our personal lines book. We have people that are anywhere from the starter package all the way up to custom builds with hundreds of thousands of households. So the promotion that we're doing with the Modern Agent is that if you guys decide on Glovebox being a great fit for your agency within the next 2 weeks, we're actually going to offer a 20% off savings on these packages. So yeah, just looking at where you land, you can also add elite locations. You can add secondary locations or elite agents if you want. But yeah, Sam's going to provide a follow-up that has an actual page for the Modern Agent right here. That's going to allow you to book with me personally, so you can actually get on here. So pricing is based on total clients that we can roll out to. So depending on your AMS system and how good your data is, if there's a phone number and an email in the AMS system, we're able to roll out to those customers. So we have these tiers, we have these buckets. We toyed around 3 years ago with the idea of price per user, and every way we rolled it out, it was much more expensive. So this is based on your current customer active book.
Yep, and only active client count, correct?
Correct. So if you have like a bunch of prospects in your AMS system, our data cleaning and scientist process will remove any of those from an active count. You'll be able to see not only active customers, but let's say someone has a phone number, but not an email, that when they log into Glovebox, it asks them, hey, we don't have an email for you. Do you want to enter one? And that can help you clean up your AMS and CRM data as well.
I did see a good question here. Julia had asked, is there any way it could hurt me? So if only I have the auto and the home is elsewhere and I do not use Glovebox, can the other agency take my auto policy, for example, if they use it with their agency? And 100% yes. Any agency who is using, for example, Glovebox or using Canopy Connect, and if you're not, they could be pulling that information. They could be pulling those deck pages. So that's why I recommend agents who are not already exploring technology. You should definitely be. That's why we have these Modern Agent sessions, to let you know about the tech that's out there, because if you're not using it, some other agent is, right? And that agent definitely could be going after your business.
Yeah. And again, like, think about this from a digital perspective. 1% of the independent channel offers a digital platform, something like this, 1%. So if you have the auto and another independent has the home, let's think about that scenario. If you're the first person to offer this digital outlet to them, they're not going to have that other person connecting them. They're going to be connected to you. They're going to be bringing in what's not with you, hopefully, to your platform. But yes, if someone else offers Glovebox and they're trying to prospect your client, and that client's okay with logging into their carrier and showing their client what they have with you, I mean, that's why you offer digital capacities to your customers before other people do. And that's why it's going to make that client more sticky for you.
Awesome. Looks like we have another question. Tom writes, if my client gives me access to a policy he has with another policy, I could probably make a move to get all moved to mine. The same works in reverse, and I can lose my client to another Glovebox agent. And yes, that's the case. You could, I guess, I mean, you could lose your policy to any
you could lose your
right?
client to anybody, but with Glovebox, if you're the first agent that they access Glovebox from, that client is tied to you. Even more reason to have a digital outlet for your agency before everybody does. So,
Yeah.
but yes, technically you could use your client to someone else using anything. They would have to manually bring in what they have into that other platform. And yeah, and yes, younger customers are more and more excited. But I will tell you, our demographic, it ranges. I mean, my parents are on their phones more than I am. And the fact that there's not a username and password setup, we have people from 18 to 80 logging into this thing, and just showing them from an organizational standpoint what they have and who their agent is.
Awesome. And we had another question. How would you introduce this to existing clients and new clients? So I think one, Adam, you guys have a process already built in where you send them a series of emails. But then
Yep.
we also have the community that has tons of advice online or for how they've rolled that out to their agents. But definitely email, social media, talking to clients on the phone about it.
Log
What
into
else,
your
Adam?
account on your website. I mean, we give you a nice email signature button that people can complete, putting it in your voicemail. I mean, and then my favorite is how many people are calling your agency a day. Pop in their name, see if they're using it, and re-invite them with the click of a button. I mean, that's going to be number one. The best time to get somebody using your piece of technology is when you can just click, hey, I'm re-inviting you right now. You see the email? Cool. Punching your phone number, you can see everything you have with us.
Yep. And another question, someone said, would the husband or wife have it on their phone, and they could both have it on their phone, right?
Yeah, so we're building in family sharing as well. I'm not sure on a timeline on that, but again, like if you had a husband and wife, they can do a one-time login from the native app, and unless they delete the app, it's not going to bounce them out.
Okay.
Now, one thing you can do as well is, like, let's say you're talking to someone on the phone today and they're not a current customer of yours yet. You can actually invite them to your platform to connect their outside policies. So you could actually enter their name. You could be like, hey, I'm going to send this to Adam. I'm going to enter Adam's email and create their Glovebox account. It will trigger them an email. And maybe on the phone with you, they're going, oh, yeah, I have Progressive. You could actually go into the account you just created them, and you could be like, all right, I'm going to go into their account and I'm going to add the carriers that they just told me they had for them. I'm going to add Progressive. So that way, when that client goes into it, they're going to see Progressive sitting there, and all they have to do is click the connect button. So you could be like, I'm going to add Progressive because you told me you had Progressive. So when they pop in here, they're going to see Progressive, but there's no policy data yet. All they have to do is click on it, connect their account, and now you've helped them with step one.
Adam, again, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining us and for helping inform us on Glovebox. It was great and a lot of information. So, and everyone who attended, thank you for the questions. It was fantastic. There was a lot of engagement. Really appreciate it.